Sometimes people in architecture don't just create masterpieces, but can even try to defy very laws of physics, playing with projections of the buildings, unusual shapes, or elevation of the buildings and structures that are kept in a perfect balance. Is it true? Or it's just a concept? What can truly extreme architecture give to us? In this video, we will take a look at 7 amazing buildings in architecture to find out for sure if it's real and it's possible to build it or not. My name is Lucy Lago. I'm an architect with experience in luxury residential architecture, and let's begin. And our first amazing example is Cliff Concept Boutique Hotel, which is located in Norway. This amazing hotel was designed by Harry Attack Architectural Design Studio. Do you think this hotel has already been built? Real or not? I love that architects didn't touch the shape of the cliff and they just integrate architecture inside and create nice functional scheme which is surrounded by natural stone, natural cliff. You can see on interiors how wonderful it looks, natural stone on the walls, and the feeling of it is like we came to early ages. I really like how they create a huge hanging pool over the head. It looks amazing. Me, personally, I wouldn't go into such a pool, but it looks amazing as a concept and it's really explode our mind when we look at it. I also love big windows because like this, all our focus is to the nature, to the landscape, and it looks amazing. Why? Because a feeling which this project is created to me, like we are surrounded by nature and in front of us it's also nature. So it's really combination between indoor and outdoor area, and in all interior and exterior you can see a little bit drama. I also love it because it's look a little bit scary but at the same time very exciting, so I really love it. So our first design is just a concept, but a beautiful concept, and I really wish to see this project in reality because it's an inspiration to all hospitality industry. This example shows how we could play and integrate nature into our architecture. Second amazing example is House on the Cliff, which is located in Spain. Here you again can guess if it's real or just a concept, and I will tell you the answer a little bit later. So what about this project? I really in love with it because it's a great example of minimalistic architecture. Just look at this project. It's really amazing because it's a great example of minimalistic architecture. So here we can see a very simple shape and big openings which are looking to the best view, and in the same time we can see how this cliffy house is integrated also to the nature. So it look a little bit weird from the beginning, but in the same time, because it's so simple, it look at the same time very nice and integrated. It's strange, but it doesn't scream. I loved how architects played with cantilevered part of the project. It's create a very nice shadow in between house and cantilevered part, and it create a nice atmosphere, and it's really a cool example because here we can see the dynamic, we can see how light plays on the surfaces, and it create really nice, sometimes sharpy shadows, which shows beauty of this architectural project. So this example is real. You can visit it in Spain, and I believe you will love it. Our third amazing example is House in the Forest by Roman Vlasov. It's one of my favorite designs and examples in architecture. Why? Because this building is amazing. It's so simple, lines are so clean, but in the same time it looks so complicated in concept and in beauty. So it's one-story building. It is a building which is 2 huge columns holding all this structure, which is all house. So I really love it, and I love the concept that it's just so clear. It's just 2 simple lines of the building and the rest is glass and big openings, big horizontal windows. It's so simple but so amazing as an idea, and I believe that it's a really masterpiece of architecture. I hope you guess if it's real or not. So now it's the answer. It's not built yet, but I believe it has a huge possibility to be built in the future, and maybe it's built, but we can't know for sure. So our fourth example is Villa Sea, designed by Lucy Lago, by me. As I told you, I'm an architect with experience in luxury residential architecture, so this is one of my buildings, one of my projects which I designed for a specific property on Zakynthos Island, and right now it's just a concept, and it will be a great example. I hope it will be built in the near future, because I put a lot of love into my creation and I'm satisfied with the result. So let me tell you a little bit more about this design, because I'm the creator and I have full knowledge about it. This villa is subterranean villa, which gonna be located on very cliffy land, on the land with big inclination, and this villa gonna be built into the cliff, and just one facade will have big openings and will look the wonderful panoramic sea view. In this design I have 7 bedrooms and each of them has panoramic sea view. I really love this design because here I try to achieve the dialogue between nature and architecture. This villa created in biophilic parametric design, but at the same time I try to keep it simple and to make all lines very clear. It looks a little bit like ship of aliens, but it could be real, and it's designed in such a way that it could be built. I really love this design, and I'm very proud that the community of Arc Daily chose this design as one of the best unbuilt design of 2022. Our next example is the house on the cliff, designed by Gil Bartolome Architects. Guess, is it real or not? This is a really bold design. You can see how power it has. When we look at it, it's just amazing, because architects decide to use the landscape on maximum. So as we see, the land has a big slope, and the architects decide to build house into the cliff, half of the house they built into the cliff, and the rest they brought it outside of the cliff. Like this, they create a nice natural ventilation, so which is very good for the house. And what about exterior? You can see that it's really remarkable. So exterior look like dragon scales. It's so awesome. I love the wavy lines in exterior. I really like the concept of this building. So the main idea of this project, as the architect says, it is to create curvy lines which will remind to people about waves of the sea, and in the same time to integrate the house into the nature. It looks so special. In reality, this house is a landmark of residential architecture. Well done. And now is the time to say the answer. Is it real or not? Yes, it is. So can you imagine? We can visit it. You can visit it and you can see it in real and enjoy the beauty of it. I will do it for sure. 6th example today is Modscape's Cliff House in Australia. Live life on the edge, they say. Modscape's concept design a 5-story house which is hanging on the cliff. This house is above the sea level. 5-story vacation home that clings on the cliff's edge overlooking the South Pacific Ocean. This house is a great example of architecture, but I have to say it's a little bit too much. Why? Because of course we need to think about safeness of the occupants. So here it's in the edge, the same like the house. Shape of the building is simple and you can see that it's a lot of glasses around because it's transparent. You can see how many levels gonna be in the building, and as the architect described, it's gonna be entrance from the top and each people will reach by elevator. So it's interesting concept, but as you understand, it's just a concept. So for me, it's a little bit crazy. It's interesting concept and it gives a space and air for the thoughts, and I believe that architects gonna use it, they're gonna redesign it and even build. But we also need to put in our mind the safeness of people which will stay in such a building, and about our architectural concept. So somewhere there we need to find a balance. Our last amazing example for today is Villa del Sofio, designed by Nicholas Brad and Charlotte Taylor. Why I choose this example? You can see direct that it's just a concept, but I really love the work of these guys, and I believe that it could be even built. As an architect, I can understand and I can imagine which structure it could be if it would be built in between the hills. And here I wouldn't say that it's so dangerous. It would be built in reality. What about the design? I love it. It's clean lines. It's very beautiful palette of the colors which they choose. So here we can see it's a little bit milky white. What about facade? It's clean facade with a few elements like columns and big openings. I love how this villa is integrated to the nature, and it creates one piece. It becomes one union with the nature and surrounding areas. I love the interior. It's look very cozy and it has its own charm. I like the materials which they choose. So they choose natural stone, and this stone has the same texture and color like a surrounding nature. So it looks very harmonic and it creates a nice peaceful atmosphere. So I believe that it's very successful example which I include in our list. From gravity design structures which seems to float in mind air to towering feats of engineering that challenge our perception of stability and balance. Those architectural marvels push the limits of what we thought was possible. We continue to innovate and dream big. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. There I share my process of work, creation of my projects, and it's a lot of interesting things there. Subscribe for more wonderful architectural wonders.